Your liver is one of the strongest organs in your body, yet it rarely sends pain when something starts to go wrong. Instead, it sends quiet signals. A slight change in your fingernails, an unexplained itch in your palms late at night, even a strange shift in your breath. Many people ignore these early clues until more serious symptoms appear. In this video, we will explore 10 physical signs that researchers and doctors sometimes associate with changes in liver health, and why noticing them early may be helpful for supporting long-term well-being. Let's start with your hands, because they can quietly reflect changes happening inside your body. Your fingernails may seem simple, but sometimes they reveal subtle clues about your internal health. Instead of focusing on the tips, look closely at the nail bed. Do you notice thin white bands running horizontally across the nail, almost parallel to the base? In medical literature, these are known as Muehrcke's lines. They are sometimes associated with changes in important proteins circulating in the blood. There is a simple way people often check for this pattern. Gently press on the nail and observe what happens. If the white bands fade under pressure and then return when you release your finger, the nail itself is usually not damaged. Instead, the change may be occurring in the tissue beneath the nail bed. Some medical sources note that these lines can sometimes appear alongside lower levels of albumin, a protein produced by the liver that helps maintain fluid balance in the bloodstream. Another pattern occasionally discussed is Terry's nails, where most of the nail bed appears pale while the tip keeps a narrow pink band. After checking your nails, turn your hands over and look closely at your palms. Focus on the fleshy areas beneath your thumb and your pinky finger. If these sections appear unusually red while the center of the palm stays lighter, it may resemble a pattern often called Palmar erythema. The color can look like a soft crimson glow spreading along the edges of the hand. Researchers believe this change may be connected to shifts in how the body processes certain hormones. The liver plays an important role in breaking down and regulating hormones, including estrogen. When the liver is under stress, hormone balance in the body may shift, and this can sometimes influence how blood vessels behave near the skin. Estrogen, for example, can widen small blood vessels, making areas like the palms appear redder than usual. A similar pattern sometimes appears on the chest or neck as tiny red spots with thin lines radiating outward. These are often called spider angiomas. When gently pressed, the center may briefly turn pale before the redness returns. Multiple spots like these can sometimes be associated with changes in liver health. Beyond changes in color, the structure of your hands can sometimes reveal additional clues about your overall health. Try placing your palm flat on a table and gently pressing it down. Notice whether your fingers can fully straighten against the surface. If your ring finger or pinky naturally bends inward and refuses to lie flat, it may resemble a condition known as Dupuytren's contracture, sometimes historically referred to as Viking disease. This condition develops when tissue beneath the skin of the palm gradually thickens and tightens. Over time, the fingers may slowly curl toward the palm, making it difficult to fully extend them. Researchers believe long-term inflammation and changes in connective tissue may play a role in this process. Because the liver is deeply involved in regulating metabolism and many chemical processes in the body, some researchers have explored whether broader inflammatory patterns in the body may occasionally appear alongside this condition. When changes in connective tissue appear in the hands, they may serve as a visible reminder that internal systems could benefit from closer attention and healthier daily habits. The next signal involves your circulation. As pressure builds inside the liver, blood may begin searching for alternative routes through the body. The liver normally acts like a major gateway for blood flowing from the digestive system. When scar tissue builds up in the liver, this pathway can become harder for blood to pass through. As pressure increases, the body may start redirecting blood through smaller veins that were never meant to carry such heavy flow. One place this can become visible is around the belly button. The veins on the abdomen may enlarge and spread outward in a pattern that resembles branching lines. In medicine, this appearance is known as Caput Medusae. It forms when blood looks for alternative routes around the liver. Similar pressure can sometimes affect veins in the lower esophagus. These veins may expand and become fragile, forming what doctors call varices. Because these vessels are delicate, they can carry certain risks if the pressure continues to rise. Spotting unusual vein patterns on the surface of the body can sometimes encourage people to seek medical evaluation and better understand what their body may be experiencing. Your skin may also start revealing subtle warning signs when circulation and clotting begin to change. One change people sometimes notice is that the skin on the arms or shins becomes thinner and bruises more easily than before. Small bumps that once faded quickly may now leave darker marks that seem to linger much longer. Part of the reason may involve the liver's role in producing proteins that help the blood clot properly. These clotting factors act like a natural repair system, helping seal tiny leaks in blood vessels after everyday bumps or minor injuries. When the liver is under strain, this process may not work as efficiently. At the same time, increased pressure in the circulatory system can sometimes affect nearby organs such as the spleen. When the spleen enlarges, it can sometimes trap more platelets than usual, which are small blood cells that help stop bleeding. When clotting factors and platelets become less available, the body's ability to repair small vessel damage can slow down. As a result, bruises may appear more easily and take longer to fade. When the liver becomes severely overwhelmed, the effects may begin reaching the nervous system. One clinical sign doctors sometimes check for is called Asterixis, a sudden flapping motion of the hands. To observe it, a person can stretch both arms forward and bend the wrist back, similar to making a stop gesture. In some situations, the hands briefly drop downward before snapping back into place. This unusual movement happens when the brain struggles to maintain steady signals to the muscles. The nervous system relies on a carefully balanced chemical environment to keep those signals stable. The liver normally plays an important role in maintaining that balance by processing substances produced during digestion. One of these substances is ammonia, which forms when the body breaks down protein. Under normal conditions, the liver converts ammonia into urea so it can be safely removed from the body. If this process becomes disrupted, in severe cases, rising levels may influence how the brain communicates with muscles. As communication between the brain and muscles becomes unstable, brief lapses in muscle control can appear as the characteristic hand-flapping movement. Another signal the body may release appears through something surprisingly simple: your breath. Doctors sometimes refer to this scent as Fetor Hepaticus, a distinct odor that can occur when the liver is under severe strain. It is not related to poor brushing habits or food stuck between teeth. Instead, it may reflect changes happening deep within the body's metabolic system. The liver normally helps break down and filter many compounds that come from the foods we eat, including substances that contain sulfur. When this filtering process becomes less efficient, some of these compounds can circulate through the bloodstream and eventually reach the lungs. From there, they leave the body with every breath. People often describe the smell as slightly sweet but musty, sometimes compared to a mix of garlic and something faintly rotten. Because the scent can be unusual and persistent, partners or family members often notice it first. When a noticeable change in breath appears alongside other physical signals, it can be a reason to seek professional medical evaluation. A different warning can appear as an intense itching sensation deep beneath the skin, often becoming strongest late at night. Doctors sometimes describe this condition as nocturnal pruritus. Unlike common itching caused by dry skin or insect bites, this type can occur without any visible rash, which makes it confusing and frustrating for many people experiencing it. One possible explanation involves bile, a digestive fluid produced by the liver. Normally, bile flows from the liver into the digestive system, where it helps break down fats from the foods we eat. When this flow becomes disrupted, certain bile components may begin circulating through the bloodstream instead of moving smoothly into the gut. Some researchers believe these substances can irritate sensitive nerve endings in the skin. As a result, a persistent itching sensation may develop even though the skin appears normal. Many people notice that the discomfort intensifies during the night, possibly linked to natural shifts in body temperature and hormone levels. When repeated itching appears on the palms or soles, it may be worth discussing with a medical professional. Even after all these warning signs, there's an important fact many people overlook. The liver is one of the few organs in the human body with a remarkable ability to repair itself. Under the right conditions, healthy liver cells can regenerate and restore lost function over time. Supporting that recovery often begins with reducing the daily stress placed on the organ. Limiting alcohol, highly processed foods, and other potential toxins can help create a healthier environment for the liver to work. Nutrition also plays an important role. Certain nutrients, such as choline, are involved in how the body processes and transports fat. When the diet lacks enough choline, fat can accumulate more easily inside liver cells. Foods like eggs, fish, and some organ meats naturally contain this nutrient. Researchers have also studied compounds found in coffee, particularly black coffee without added sugar. Some studies suggest that moderate coffee consumption may be associated with lower levels of liver inflammation. No single food can repair the liver on its own. Consistent lifestyle and dietary choices can play an important role in supporting long-term liver health. Alongside supportive nutrients and balanced habits, Another process sometimes discussed in metabolic health is autophagy. This is a natural cellular recycling system where the body breaks down damaged components and reuses them for energy and repair. Autophagy tends to become more active during periods when the body is not constantly processing food. When people eat frequently throughout the day, the body often remains in a storage state. During longer gaps between meals, insulin levels may gradually fall, and the body can shift toward using stored energy. Some researchers have explored whether this shift may be associated with cellular processes, such as autophagy. Because of this, certain individuals choose structured eating windows, including forms of intermittent fasting. Although these approaches are not suitable for everyone, medication use is another important factor for liver health. A common pain reliever called acetaminophen must be processed carefully by the liver. Taking high doses, especially alongside alcohol, can place significant stress on this organ. For that reason, many health professionals advise following dosage guidelines carefully and discussing regular use with a medical professional to avoid unnecessary liver strain. This content is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for the support.